Hello everybody. So in this lesson we're going to take what we have so far with the auto rig, which has some constraint to the skeleton already from the controls. And then we are going to do the parenting for the controls to each other. So basically, like all of these are going to be parented to the master controls. So if we were to select the master control, we should be able to move the whole character, except that the way I did it right there, let me undo that really quick. I just put it into the 0 group, which is not what we want. We want to make sure that all of these 0 groups go inside of the master control itself, not the 0 group for the master control. So now if we select the master control, we can move everything above it. So we're going to do that same thing in the proper order for each one of these things. So this is kind of like at the next level, so we can see that the cog here is fine under the master control, but what goes above that would be the lower waist. So we can take the whole 0 group from the lower waist and put it into the cog group here. So now we'll see that if we rotate that other joint moves with it, and we can do that. And we do that all the way up the chain, making sure that everything is parented. So this is going to be parented to that. 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 Then the neck and the clavicles are each going to be parented to the chest. Then the neck works going up to the neck. It's going to be to the lower neck. The head is going to be here. Then these we're going to leave at the lower level, but the balls of the foot are going to be parented to the foot control here. And I'm kind of looking at what we have here, and I'm thinking that if we, because right now, if we move it, it's kind of not moving with it, which is fine. But if we wanted to give it kind of some ability to adjust, if we wanted to, which wouldn't be realistic, but for some cartoony animation, might be worth doing. Can do something like so if we change that, and let's clear all of this and rerun this. So we create the skeleton, create the rig. So what you'll see is that you can get the secondary action to kind of be able to tweak the pose a little bit if you wanted to. Typically you don't want to, but sometimes you want to be able to kind of offset it. The thing that you'll see is that if we copy this to the next one also, create the skeleton, create the rig. Now if we do that here, you can see that it's only moving that section. So if you needed to tweak it a little bit, you could. I think for this rig, I'm going to update this a little bit to be parent constraints for the whole center. Even the clavicles is fine. The ball of the foot is fine. I'm not going to do it for the foot and the wrist though, because they have the thing that they have with the IK handle that they need to be doing. Okay, so let's just make sure that we don't get any errors since I made quite a few changes there. Skeleton, create reg. There you go. So any of these we should be able to kind of tweak and we can still rotate. Okay, so let's get to parenting. So I'm going to create another function, parent controls. And let's go here, define parent controls. And then inside of here, like I said, everything is going to go into the master, but we don't need to do everything immediately. So what I'm going to do is do the foot controls and the cog. So I have this 0 group, which is great, and then I have the master control. So the master control is going to be the parent. MC.parent. Then we're going to do the cog. I need the cog. I also need the foot, wrist. Okay. So then we can put that there. It needs to be in quotes. Then this is just going to be an R. Then we have the wrist, comma, and this is just right. And then finally at the end, we need the master control. So you can see that we're doing all the 0 groups as the children, and then the final parent is the actual control itself. Okay, let's clear this. And create skeleton, then create rig. And you'll see that we should see everything be clear there. The only thing is that if we move the master control, the arms and the cog and the feet are all parented to that. The reason we're not doing all of them at this point is because once we parent these to their corresponding curves, they're automatically going to be parented to that because this other object is parented to it. So it saves us a little bit of code needing to do that. Okay, so we have the cog, and the next object that we need is the lower waist. So it's going to be mc.parent. And then we have the lower waist control. And we have the cog. There we go. Then we can go to the next line, and we have the lower waist control and then the 0. waist control, and waist 0. Copy, paste. Then we have the lower rib cage. Yeah. Lower rib cage 0, and then we need the waist control here. Rib cage 0, then the waist control. Okay, I'm going to clear this, test it, just for my own sanity here, because sometimes I get mixed up a little bit as I'm parenting things, and I just want to make sure that everything is correct. So here we can see that it is parented with it. It's moving up the chain. Then we got this. We have this. And we have this. It all looks great. And then, like I said, with the everything is parented to it, so it's not going to necessarily be, it's going to move everything that's above it. So if we have the parent constraint, it's going to do that. It's not just going to be the little bit of the center part. We can go back and forth and do a parent orient constraint. It's fine. If we want to lock the, we can lock the channels for the movement later, and that will be, it won't be any issue. Okay, so I have all the way through to here. So I have the lower rib cage, and then the sternum is going to be here. So the cog, master control. So over here we can see that I did the cog rather than the 0 group for the cog. So let's fix that really quick. There we go. And then the sternum is the next one. So we have the sternum is going into the lower rib cage. Copy, paste. Then we have the sternum 0 and lower rib cage. Copy, paste. Okay, so then we have this control, and then we're going to go to the upper chest. And then copy and paste them over. There you go. Then here's where it gets a little bit tricky, because we need to do the lower neck, and then we need to do both clavicles. So let's clear the scene just so that we get everything kind of lined up the way we need it. Okay, so we know that we need the upper chest here. Then we're going to need the lower neck and both clavicles. So it's going to be mc.parent. Lower neck 0. Clav 0. That's the left. And then we can do the right. And then we have the object that they're all being constrained to or parented to, which is going to be the upper chest control. There we go. Close the parentheses. Clear the scene. Create skeleton, create rig. There we go. So that looks good. Now we need to do the neck and the head, and then both of the ball of the feet. So let's copy this one, paste it here. So we have the lower neck control and then the neck zero group. Then lower neck. Then we need to do the head. So it's going to be the neck control, then the head zero group. Neck control, head zero group. Then we need both of the ball of the feet, and they're going to be going to their corresponding controls for the feet here. Okay. Paste. So let's say we'll do the left one first. Then left ball. I need that there. I accidentally copied over the wrong one. There we go. And then I'm just going to copy this and paste it, and it's going to be on the right side instead of the left side. Okay. Let's create skeleton. Create rig. Cool. So we have the master control right here that has everything else in there, and everything under it should move properly. Great. Everything is working the way we would expect it. Okay, so if we wanted to, we can add a little bit of organizing here. So let's create a MC dot group, and let's clear the section. MC dot select CL equals true. let's name this CTRL. Yes. So this is going to be all controls. Create skeleton, create rig, and hopefully we should have a null group basically that has okay, so can we do a null? What is it? We just need to do a empty group. Oops. Let me try that again here. Create skeleton, create rig. Well, what I can do for right now is select that. And then let's do, it just wants something inside of its group. Okay, so let's clear all of this. Create skeleton, create rig. Oh, what is it telling us? Oh, because it thinks it's a variable. It should be controls. Let's see if we can just do that now. Let me close the attribute editor. Okay. So let's clear the scene. Create skeleton, create rig. Not enough objects or values. So now it has the issue that I was thinking that was at first. Let's check the group really quick. I think we can say maybe that we have, we compare it to the world. World equals true. Yeah. So let's try before we do that. We can say world equals true. So that way we're basically just creating an empty group because that's what I want to do. Let's clear all of this. Create skeleton, create rig. Nope, didn't like it. So I'm just gonna give it that object here. Create skeleton, create rig. There you go. So all the controls are going to be in the control group. Then I need each one of these. We're going to create a group and see that group. And it is going to be each one of these. This is going to be right. And then we need the leg. Right. Oops. And I need to give it the name. So name equals IKs. And I need to make sure that I make that a string. And close the parentheses. Create skeleton, create rig. So we have the IKs and skeleton here. We are going to need the, let's see, that group. It's going to group by itself right now. And then we're going to say name equals JNTS. Save this. Let's clear that. Create skeleton, create rig. And now we should see that we only have 3 in here. And then now that we have that done, I'm going to say mc.group. IKs CTRLS and JNTS. And then we need to give it a name also. Character auto rig. Create skeleton, create rig. Nope. Oh, I need to make sure that we got n equals. Start again. N equals. There we go. I was trying to add character auto rig, but it doesn't exist. I wanted to create it by making sure that was named that way, the group. There we go. So now the character auto rig is the group that holds all of this information here. And I'm going to do like CGI nerd underscore nerd underscore character auto rig. That way we know where it came from. Okay. Save. And then now we have everything organized, parented correctly, and working nicely. So one more thing that I'd like to do for the rig is be able to create pole vector constraints. So we'll work on that in the next lesson so that we can control where the elbows and the knees are going to be set up. All right, we will see you guys in the next one.